Hello. That was a terrible. Hello. It's me, your boy again. Today, as following on from the last video, like I said, where I talk about my pickups for the month, I'm going to go through all the films that I've watched this month, and there is quite a lot because I've really pushed myself this trying to push myself this year to watch films in my collection. Like I said, this is a list of stuff in my collection that I need to watch. So I've ticked off a fair bit. Some of this stuff isn't actually on the list, it's just re-watches that I've watched. And some of it's new pickups as well. But yeah, so I'm basically just going to go through the stuff, give some of my opinions on some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I won't give too much detail on because I gave that on my last video. But yeah, so spoilers ahead in this video. Spoilers ahead for the rest of this video. I think we're going to start with... we're going to start with the Arrow videos. Deep Red. I mentioned this in my Arrow video collection. I watched this for the first time this month. It was really good, so I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't like the most groundbreaking thing I ever watched. I did think it was quite creepy in places. The music choices that they used for the song, what the killer uses. But yeah, it's a pretty good film. The lead actor, the English guy, I don't think he's English, sorry. I watched the dubbing of it because I was in one of those moods to not read the subtitles. But I thought the dubbing was quite good. There's quite a mixture from different languages in there. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I need to watch more Argento films to see really what the comparison is. This was quite good indeed. As I mentioned in my pickup video, JSA, Joint Security Area. This is a very good film. It's by the same director as Old Boy. Has the lead guy, the dad from Parasite, in it. He plays the North Korean soldier. And I don't know, I haven't learned the guy's name or anyone's name. I just know. The only reason I picked this up was because Our Boy from Parasite was in it, and it was directed by the same guys who directed Old Boy. I picked it up. I was not disappointed at all. Very good drama piece. It's very tense. It was really nice as well. It was really heartwarming at times as well. That's what I think was really groundbreaking about this film. It was heartwarming, tense, and you really felt the tension between the two sides of Korea throughout this film. And this is very good South Korean film. I would highly recommend it. It's only recently come out this month, and I'm very glad to pick it up. Speaking of which, Old Boy, like I said, watched this for the first time. This was really good. It was gripping. The fight scenes were really good. The acting was really good. It was, yeah, I think it was really... I know it's based off a manga, and I pretty much said throughout... this came out in 2003 as well. Yeah, there's not really much to say. I've pretty much gone over this in my Arrow video collection video, link in the description if you want to watch that. But yeah, this is another great film. And like I said in my other video, I've just picked up the Vengeance trilogy. Can't wait to watch the rest of them to get more, see what else is in that trilogy. And the guy from Parasite is also in the Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance as well, so I'm excited to watch that. Pitch Black, I've mentioned this this is the third time I've mentioned Pitch Black. It's in my pickup video, this video, and the Arrow video collection. But this was really good. I really like Vin Diesel in this. I like the post-apocalyptic setting. The desolate planet. It's really well done, and it really has that late 90s feel to it. This, I think, is quite an underrated film, and I can see why it's a cult classic in many people's eyes. David Cronenberg's Crash. Watched Videodrome late last year with my housemate. Saw the trailer for this, and I was like, I'm interested to see what more David Cronenberg work is. Picked this up, the nice special edition of it. I really liked it. I think it's really well done. Near-death experience, bringing out this endorphin and this sexual desire to just keep recreating that near-death experience to try and push yourself more in those kind of areas. I think it's quite interesting, personally. I think this was a really good watch, and I just love this box. Love these Arrow video boxes so much. The last Arrow video we have is the only 4K one that I have in the collection. Tremors. I've mentioned this in my both previous videos as well. Not much more to say about this, apart from it's really good. Just worth picking up. It was really good. Kevin Bacon, highlight. Just the whole cast was a highlight. The effects of the graboids was really good. I don't think I've actually mentioned how good the effects are. Yeah, just really good. This is definitely worth a pickup, and I've said in both of those videos, there's still a few of these versions going around. Pick it up. Definitely worth it if you're a monster movie fan. I've got two Criterions now. I'm going to go over this one first because the other one leads on to something else. With the Godzilla Criterion collection here, this is probably my prize Blu-ray possession in this collection. I've only watched one in this now. I watched Godzilla Raids again. So we go. Godzilla Raids again, right there. Lovely. I'm going through it slowly. I've watched the first one. That was last year. I've watched this one because I've got a lot of stuff to watch and do with uni. When it comes to the second one, it really isn't that memorable. Like compared to the first one, it's just such a downgrade personally. The human characters aren't really memorable. The monster actions look so cheap. The costumes look awful. The fights with Godzilla and Anguirus just look stupid because they're sped up, which is what I learned recently. It was a mistake by the camera operator. I meant to do it slow-mo, but he cranked it too much and they left it in. The director said it was good, so yeah. It's probably one of the weaker entries of the Godzilla films that I have seen from the Showa era. If you have the Godzilla collection, you might as well watch it. It was still enjoyable. Just it kind of lost me a bit. I kind of lost my attention span actually after Godzilla and Anguirus' fight and he defeats him, because that was quite far into the movie. I thought that was going to go right to the end, but no, it didn't. Oh well. I've got King Kong vs Godzilla next, and I much prefer that film. I'm not gonna lie. The Criterion that I've watched, or that is, I'm gonna mention a few films that I've watched by Mr. Lynch here, but I mentioned in my last video, Eraserhead. Me and my housemate watched. My housemate got me into David Lynch, and we watched Eraserhead on his David Lynch box set on DVD. So I picked this up as well. This was a really good film. It's basically the idea of anxiety, really, and this dream-like aspect of it, and this nightmarish feeling that it gives off. That's personally what I took away from it. It was really interesting to watch. It's probably one of the most unique films that I've ever watched in my entire life. Definitely recommend it, and this Criterion is a really nice release because he's also got the Criterion. I bought it for him for his birthday, and I've seen what it looks like in the box set. Two other Lynch films, which I don't own, but my housemate owns. We watched Blue Velvet. It's my second favourite Lynch film, but it's my third favourite Lynch project, if that makes sense. That was just really good. Kyle MacLachlan was amazing in it. Dennis Hopper was crazy in it. That was hilarious. Laura Dern, like one of her first appearances on film. It was she was really good for quite a young actress. I think she did a fantastic job. It's just a really good film. Probably, yeah, definitely recommend. One of his more concise narratives that he's put out, but definitely give it a watch if you're interested in watching Lynch. But you don't want to go too heavy into his crazy style of filmmaking. And the other film we watched was Mulholland Drive with Naomi Watts, the lady from King Kong, the Percy Jackson one. That was really good actually. It's the idea of Hollywood and this dream-like aspect to it, and then it 180 and just slaps you in the face of what Hollywood's really like. But yeah, it was a very good Lynch film. It was acted very well, and it's nice to see more 2000 projects. Apart from the only thing I've seen he's done in the 2000s and 2010s is The Return, which was really good. Not a lot of people like it, but I really like The Return. Going on to the only TV stuff that I've watched, it's got the season 12 box set of Doctor Who. It was Tom Baker's birthday this month. Funny enough, same day as David Lynch. So I put on Robot because I felt like watching his first story, and then I forgot how much I love Tom Baker because he's my favourite Doctor. So I ended up over the course of those few days just watching the episodes. I watched The Ark in Space. I didn't like it when I first watched The Ark in Space. I don't know why. I was in college. That was a fair few years ago now. It's almost over 3 years ago now since I last saw that. So I rewatched it then. I loved it. I loved the body horror. I loved the space element. I like the way it links to Robot and the rest of the series. Sontaran Experiment, fun two-parter. Still one of my favourite 12. That's the 12 is the series. It's one of my favourite Fourth Doctor stories, and Genesis of the Daleks. I haven't watched Revenge yet. That's next. I'm going to watch that either tonight or tomorrow. But Genesis of the Daleks, still one of the most groundbreaking stories the Doctor Who's ever done. You can see why this is always talked about as the golden years of Doctor Who, just because The stories in this box set are just all consistently fun, good. They have dark elements and undertones to them. I think the acting is done pretty well as well. But Genesis is probably the highlight of this box set. And Sontaran Experiment being my favourite. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say Sontaran Experiment's better than Genesis. Just, I get more enjoyment out of it. I just really like Genesis, though, for the groundbreaking story. It's fantastic. Like, the way it goes real back to Dalek Origins is fantastic. But yeah, Series 12 box set. Lovely. Very excited for the next Season 8 box set. Now we've got the standard Blu-rays. There's only 4 here. The original King Kong. I watched this for the first time. Obviously, we've got that new lovely Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. Very excited. But I watched this just before because I've had this for quite a while now and I've been meaning to watch it because it's monster history. But yeah, it was pretty good. The acting is definitely very 30s. Very 30s indeed. But, you know, I'm not really interested for the human stuff in this. Like, yeah, it's fair enough. I feel like the human stuff is much done better in the Percy Jackson version of this film, whereas the monster action is just fantastic in this. All the stop motion is done by Willis O'Brien, and it's just... who's the grandfather of this genre. All of it, you get literally, in the space of like 20 minutes, you get like, when Kong first shows up, it's just constant monster action. You see so many different monsters along the way, like when they go chase after the girl, it's just brilliant. And the final scenes where Kong's running around, where he's chasing after the girl and the crew before they take him back to New York, that's brilliant. And the final scenes in New York is just amazing. The final scene when he's on top of the Empire State Building is just... it's so memorable, and it's so heartbreaking because he's just an animal, and he's just doing, like, humans messed with him. They made him react this way, and yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Watched this for the first time when I was ill. The day they watched it at uni, so I've had this DVD for a while. No, this Blu-ray for a while because my aunt said it's one of her favourite films, and I thought, oh, fair enough, give it a check. Was not disappointed. Randall P. Murphy, played by Jack Nicholson, is a bastard. He's a horrible bastard, but at the same time, this film makes me feel so much towards him. It's actually crazy. Like, he's a dick who's trying to get out of normal prison by pretending he's like mentally insane and then just causing a ruckus. But at the same time, I do like watching his bond with the other characters in this, like Danny DeVito in this playing. Who he is, the guy from The Hills of Eyes as well, he's in this. The guy who plays Doc Brown is also in this, and I thought, this cast is crazy. The Quiet Giant, he was also brilliant as well. Like, that ending was really, also the ending was just really nice. And this is definitely worth a watch if you've got 133 minutes to spare of your time, which is 2 hours and 13 minutes. So definitely give this a watch because this was a really good drama and it was really funny in places as well. Highly recommended. We had the Transformers, the movie, the 80s one. This is just my childhood. It was really nice to. I got this last year. Yeah, I got this last year. I've always loved this film. It's such a nostalgic film for me. I love the animation style. The story itself is great. Just love all of it. This is pinnacle Transformers right here. This is fantastic. If you find this for cheap, do get it. What the Indiana Jones box set? I've only got this because I watched Temple of Doom yesterday because I was doing it for my research for representation. But yeah, Temple of Doom, I can see why people don't really like it, and it's not, obviously it is one of the weaker films in the series, but at the same time I have such a nostalgia for it. Like, I do really enjoy it to quite a lot of extent. It's nowhere near as good as the first film. Like, there's nowhere near as good as Raiders. I need to rewatch Last Crusade. I was falling asleep when I was watching it. But yeah, it's definitely not my least favourite in the series, for sure. Very good. What I will say about it is the set design. I thought the set design throughout the whole film, like, was fantastic. Like, it's just got this huge sense of scale to it. Like, I feel like films from the 80s really managed to hone that in, which is fantastic. And it's one of my favourite things about 80s movies, pretty much. 80s, early 90s. Just the grand scale of things is just brilliant. Next, we have all of my 4Ks that I've watched. 13 here. Watched a lot of 4Ks this month because we've recently got a 4K TV for the house, and I bought a 4K player for the house, so we've been able to watch stuff in proper 4K. been able to watch stuff in proper 4K now. So what I watched first, the first thing that I watched was King of the Monsters on 4K. I love this film. It's great monster action. I really adore it. The steelbook itself is really nice with Ghidorah and Godzilla on there. But yeah, it was really... So I've been wanting to watch this in 4K again since we watched it in the cinema when it came out in late 2019. Yeah, there's just fantastic monster action throughout. Like, I think it's really good. Just the fights with Ghidorah are amazing. Godzilla versus Ghidorah, amazing. They both look incredible. Rodan and Mothra look amazing. Just, all of it looks incredible, in my opinion. Yeah, the human stuff is a bit meh at times, but at the same time, it's plausible, it's enjoyable, and very good film. Speaking of Godzilla and Kong, we know we got a new one coming out, obviously, and then I did watch Kong Skull Island again. This is on 4K as well. I have them all. I have the whole series on Steelbook. Only these two are on 4K. They haven't got a 4K for the first 2014 Godzilla. I really like the Steelbook. I think it's got that really nice 80s action poster feel to it. Like, you get everything on it with the skull crawlers, the indigenous people, the spiders, the octopus, the Kong himself, messing up the gorillas, all the pterodactyls. I feel like it's just a great post. It's just a great steelbook on the front. I think that looks great. Back's a bit plain. I hate the one thing I don't like about this is the fact that you get fingerprints all over it. Not a fan of that. Yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable monster movie, to be fair. I think it's quite an interesting way. This film doesn't mess around. It gets going so quickly. And I was very surprised, like, rewatching it again. I've watched this a fair few times now. I just get amazed by how big a cast they got for this film. It's incredible. Like, just Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, John C. Reilly, just to name a few. And I'm just like, what the... How do they get all these people in this film? I don't know. Yeah, but I feel this very enjoyable. If you want to see, like, Baby Kong, remember, he is a baby in this film, and he's going to grow bigger. That's the one thing I'm seeing about comments. It's like, how did Kong get so big? And I'm just like, he's a baby in that film. And it's not related to any other Kong film. These are their own separate universes. It's things that people seem to forget. It's like when they did the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. That was a whole different universe to the 1933 one they did. It's all different universes. That's what they got to remember. Next, we have an anthology here, which I sat and watched back to back to back, because I felt like I really wanted to watch these. So it is the original Batman series. So I have these all on Zaffy Steelbook exclusives. I managed to pick them all up because I saw them and I wanted to buy the bullet. Rewatching this one, I really love what Tim Burton did with these films. Like, the way they painted Gotham was great. It had this nice gritty gothic undertone to it, which is pretty much what Tim Burton does with all his films. The acting from Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson throughout was incredible. Like, they were both brilliant. And Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale was amazing as well. Just throughout this whole film, it was really good. It was really well paced. I loved the story, loved the acting, I loved the cinematography, just all of this. Very nostalgic, and it still holds up to this day, and it looked beautiful in 4K. Batman Returns, my favourite Batman film of all time, because it was like, alongside when The Dark Knight and stuff came out, I don't know, I was really more gripped on this one. Like, this was the first I saw out the anthology as well. That's a lie, Batman and Robin was, but this one was just, something about this was so amazing. I love the acting from Danny DeVito. Michael Keaton again is brilliant. Michelle Pfeiffer is amazing as Catwoman. She really embodies that whole strong female, like, she doesn't give a shit anymore. Like, she just does what she does for her own sake, because she's been tired of being fucked over. And there's the back as well. Oh, I'll show you the back. Show you the back of the first one as well. There we go. Nice. I like the colour schemes as well. But yeah, fantastic film. Love the Christmas setting. Just everything about it's great. Danny DeVito as the Penguin is probably one of the best, if not alongside Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger's Joker. Oh, and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. It's one of the best on-screen appearances of a Batman villain. Just fantastic, and the gothic scale was really upped in that film, and it was just fantastic. Batman Forever. This is generally, I'm going to say, this is my least favourite in the series. I don't it's... I really don't like Jim Carrey in this. I know probably some people are going to be like, what? It's just, is that not, I don't know, he's just hamming it up too much. I know, and he's going for more like comedic, and he kind of takes away what the Riddler is supposed to be. Like, yeah, he's that like weird loner kind of guy, but at the same time, he's just a bit much. But I must say the scale of this film is so much bigger. I love the design still. They still consistently keeps with those two Tim Burton movies. He did executive produce on this one, but there's just some up to it, and I like the scale about all the statues built in between it. I prefer Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in this, and even he still doesn't give it. You can tell he's a bit tired throughout this whole film. This has quite a big cast as well. You've got Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, and Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell as Robin, fuck me, I'm not a fan. Like, he's probably another one of my least favourite things about this film. I don't know, I don't think Chris O'Donnell delivers a very good, believable performance. And also, as it's in there, I don't like that Batmobile. But I'm not going to say, even though I have a lot of problems with this film, it was still enjoyable to watch. I can't fault any of these films for not being enjoyable. It's like the Transformers movies, like the Michael Bay ones. They're not the best of what I love, but at the same time, they're still very enjoyable. Like, they're still good popcorn entertainment. And finally, Batman and Robin. I love the colour of red on this one, I must say. This one's just crazy. This one's just crazy as fuck, but yeah, it was really good, personally. Ooh, actually. I feel like for this one, they should have put Batman and Robin on that back one, because it's the first one he's in. And this one, they should have had no. They should have had, on this one, they should have had Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Again, this one has a huge cast. Arnie, we have Arnie in this, from Terminator, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, and Alyssa Silverstone? Oh yeah, she plays Batgirl, doesn't she? Yeah, this is just a mad film. This is huge. The only consistent thing with these, like, characters throughout these films is, throughout all four, is Commissioner Gordon and Alfred. They're the only two characters that consistently stay throughout all the films. Because there's a theory about these films where Forever and Batman and Robin are actually movies within the Tim Burton universe. That's a cool theory. Like, it's a very nice theory, but at the same time, because of Alfred and Commissioner Gordon, it's not plausible. But yeah, this is quite fun. I do really like Mr. Freeze's design in this. Uma Thurman is funny. Bane, there's a really funny scene in this where it cuts from Uma Thurman being like, Wayne, into praises, and it cuts back to that clip of Bane just going, Bane, and I'm just like, that was a really funny but jarring cut. There's a lot of fun. This is just fun. Like I said, it's very nostalgic. First Batman film I ever watched. Still very enjoyable, and they all looked great on 4K. There was only a few bits where I was like, yeah, but throughout all of it, can't fault it. Full Metal Jacket, like I said in my last video when I mentioned I got Apocalypse Now, both of these, me and my housemate had a Vietnam night, so he wanted to show me Apocalypse Now, and so I thought I'd bring a Full Metal Jacket. This is really good. I've said quite a lot. I've said more about it in my previous video. I'm just going to say, editing was really well, cinematography was really well, and the pacing was really good. We watched that second though, but this Full Metal Jacket, when I watched this when I was in college, I was doing a project on Stanley Kubrick, so I sat and watched most of his films. So it was Clockwork Orange, Shining, this, and 2001, like his big films. So when I watched this, I really loved the drill army stuff in the camp and stuff like that. That was really good. But then when I watched it, then the Vietnam stuff felt like it slew it down for me quite a lot. So when I rewatched it the other week, all of it's fantastic. Throughout this whole film is brilliant. Just I feel like the stuff in Vietnam really stands up as well to the rest of the film, in my opinion. So yeah, this is definitely worth a watch, and it looks glorious on 4K. The other 4K, one of the other big sets that I have are, actually, just going to quickly mention these two. So Power Rangers. Like I said, this looked amazing on 4K. I said more about this in my previous video. Very enjoyable still. Yeah, I know it's not like the best Power Rangers movie, but still, I quite enjoyed it for a modern. We have V for Vendetta. Like I said, this was amazing comic book film. Looks amazing on 4K. Definitely worth a pickup because it's new out. It was actually new out this month as well. The last thing I wanted to talk about was a set that I got not too long after Christmas. It was like £24 when I picked this up, and I thought this was very good for 3 4Ks when usually it's like £35. And that is the Jurassic Park trilogy, the original trilogy. I have not actually, for the life of me, I feel like I sat through The Lost World once, and then the rest of them I saw in bits, so it was nice to finally have these and sit down and enjoy them properly for the first time on 4K. Consistently, I think this is a really good trilogy, personally. Jurassic Park, fantastic, one of Spielberg's best films, like the ideas behind it is amazing. Lost World continues that, upping the ante, and I feel like the cast is fantastic for that as well. Laura Dern's in this as well. I love pointing out Laura Dern because she's a fantastic actress. Jurassic Park 3, yeah, like, it's not the best of the trilogy, but at the same time, I feel like it stands up quite well. I don't think, I see a lot of people hating on it, but I feel like it was very good. I think it's just that, what is it? It's just that bit with the dream sequence that everyone's like a bit iffy with. But I personally really like this trilogy. Practical effects look fantastic on 4K. Cannot recommend this set highly enough. Yeah, the CGI looks quite dated, but at the same time, it's those practical effects and the acting that really sell it for me, and the sense of scale as well. Yeah, very good set. Very good set indeed. Really worth it in my opinion. Just want to quickly mention, we watched Marriage Story the other day, literally a couple of days ago. I watched that for the first time. That was beautiful. I like how that was all shot on film. That was fantastic. It was a very hard watch, I'm not gonna lie. It just makes you feel quite a lot personally. It makes you feel for Scarlett Johansson's character and Adam Driver's character, where you can tell that they used to really love each other, and it's just been ripped apart, and you don't get to really see any of the nice stuff apart from that opening montage, and the rest is just this horrible fallout from it. Also, Laura Dern's in that as well. There's a lot of Laura Dern stuff on this video. Gone Girl, David Fincher, that was fantastic. I've been meaning to watch that for time, and so my housemate showed me that. That was brilliant. It was just, the cinematography was really good. I knew what the twist was because it had been spoiled for me, but watching how it unfolded throughout the whole film was fantastic. Ben Affleck was great in it. Oh, I've forgotten the lead lady's name. I'm so bad with names when it comes to films. I'm better with faces. Like, I know she's in The World's End. She plays Martin Freeman's sister. She was brilliant. She really gave off that psychotic feel. Fantastic. She was phenomenal throughout this whole film. Neil Patrick Harris, he was great in it. It's funny watching him like do very serious roles when you compare him to like his first TV role as a kid, and seeing him from that into How I Met Your Mother, it's completely different. And the final film that I can think of that we have watched is Parasite. Was meaning to watch that last year because it was fantastic to see like a Korean film had won Best Picture. That I was like, that's incredible. Like, for stuff over here, people being like, oh, it's just for diversity. Oh, it's crap because it's in fucking Korean and I can't understand it. Just learn to read the subtitles. I cannot fault how good that film is. The acting is fantastic. It's a really good thriller / comedy. Like when it's funny, it's really funny. When it's serious, it's really serious. Just, I can't fault it. It's really good. I did not expect it to go the way it did. It's like when I watched Candyman for the first time. Just did not expect it to go that way. It was brilliant. Oh, the cinematography was beautiful. The pacing, beautiful. Just the acting, beautiful. Highly recommend Parasite. Cannot lie to you. Highly recommend Parasite. And yeah, that's it. This video is going to be really long, so hopefully you got a drink to sit through this whole video because it was very long. It feels like this last clip was like 20 odd minutes. This one's 24 minutes. So depending how much I get around cutting, yeah, sorry for this being quite a long video, but hopefully you've sat around and enjoyed it. If you want to see what other pickups I got alongside some of the stuff I mentioned in this video, check out my previous video. If you're more interested in the Arrow Video stuff, I've got an Arrow Video collection out. If you're interested in Doctor Who, got some Doctor Who figure stuff out if you want to watch that. Again, cheers for all the subscribers. People keep subbing now, so cheers if you're new. Tell me some of your pickups. I'm very interested. Let's have a conversation about it. Yeah, so I've been your boy. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. More Blu-ray content to come. More Doctor Who content to come. Yeah, so hopefully you have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Have a good one. Peace.